All right, y'all. Welcome. As you can tell, we are somewhere different. We are home. We're in Austin. We're on the south side, actually. I am Mario from the south side, and this is Between Two Ferns. No, I'm kidding. This is I don't know. That's perfect. Again, I'm Mario from the south side, your host, and thank you for tuning in and tapping in with us as usual. We strive to bring you all the greatest and best as the content as we could, and with that, it comes with a lot of great guests and people that I get the pleasure to sit down with, and that today happens to be two creative people that have both independently managed to create a status of themselves on their own brands, and then coming together, just creating something even bigger and better that just you would never expect to happen. I am sitting with Huezo from Huezo Studios, and I am sitting with Rick from Texas
How's
from
it going?
Figure It Out,
Yes, sir.
and also from Who, When, Where, What.
Yes, sir.
If I'm not mistaken,
Yes, sir.
two very creative directors. How are y'all doing today?
Doing good.
Doing good.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'm happy y'all are here. I know it took us a minute to finally sit down and get together, and it's a new space. And today's just gonna be a little bit awkward because we're getting situated. But as always, it's a pleasure to be sitting down here with you guys.
It's a long time coming, that's for sure.
For sure, yeah. And like I must say, like obviously, just Wesso. As anybody who's been tuned into the show, I'm a huge fan. I try to rock the merch as much as I can. I'm a big
Real.
fan. I don't just try to wear anything. He's from the South Side and just is dope with everything he drops. And the reason that we're here today is because of what they just are recently been working on and promoting them. But we'll get to that in a bit. Before we get to the next topic, I just want to go ahead and give a little introduction. If you guys can go ahead and just introduce yourself, let the people know who y'all are and then what it is they y'all both do independently in y'all's corner of the sector that y'all have in Austin. Because y'all, I feel like y'all both have like a stranglehold in what y'all do.
I appreciate that. That sounds. I've never heard that before, so that's like
yeah,
super cool.
that's a nice way
Thank
to put
you. I
it.
appreciate that. Yeah.
I'm Alberto Huezo, founder and creative director of Huezo Studios, a clothing line I made here starting in Austin, Texas, in 2016, going on hard now, and I rep the South Side hard. You can ask Mario.
Yep.
I be trying to show that like over here in Austin we have creatives. We got some crazy creatives,
For
and we
sure.
just need the eyes because we can do what everybody else is doing, and even crazier at some points.
Sick. Love that. What's up, y'all? I'm Rick from Texas. I'm the creative director of Figure Out Agency and WhenWhereWhat. We're about to hit our third year at Figure It Out. It's our birthday soon, so stay tuned. We got some cool stuff coming on. I like to keep it short and sweet, so that's it right there.
Nice. Yeah, of course. That's the best way to do it. And so the reason that we're here today, well, I mean, obviously there's a bunch of other reasons, but one of the main highlights that we're sitting down is because you guys are working on the drop that y'all have been kind of building up towards. And honestly, I'm excited because I've been excited because just the way that both of y'all independently, like, you know, with Figure It Out and then with Wessel Studios, the way I do rollouts is fucking genius. You know, it's a lot of times with creativity, it seems like somebody has already done something, so you got to find a way to think about what hasn't been done, what's outside of the box, like what else can be done, and you guys have been managed to do so. You know, and so the line that y'all are been working on is the "Don't Move to Texas" line.
It's stop moving to Texas.
The stop moving to Texas. Sorry,
it's
but
all
yeah,
good, all good.
tell me more about it. Like, how did this idea come to fruition?
So, yeah, you wanna start it off and then
Yeah. So we came together at first and made these Huezo from Texas
Mm-hmm.
collabs, and it's a play on like Huezo and Rick from Texas.
Okay.
Huezo from Texas, and we just see everybody wearing this shirt multiple times. We'd see like 5 people in one day wearing the same shirt.
Oh
And
wow.
we were just like, at some point, maybe like a year after the shirts have dropped, and we just keep seeing it, we were like, bro, we need something new. Like,
Bring it back, run it back.
we
Yeah.
need something new.
it kind of it like this might sound crazy to say, but it got like tiring seeing you all the time.
Yeah,
but like,
yeah.
But like also like I love that
Yeah.
that feeling. But it's just like, man, like
You gotta give
I
something
love,
else.
yeah, like I love that y'all love what we did
Mhm.
so much, but like we need to give y'all something else. Like
For sure.
we gotta, if y'all love this so much, like we gotta do something that y'all are gonna love even more than
Mhm.
that.
And the thing that took the time and like the years that like we took a break from dropping anything new was just like kind of pressure that we put on ourselves. Like,
Okay.
yo, people loved that one. It had a good response. We'd want something better, bigger, and just to show people that we have advanced in our works and our marketing skills and just the artistic work and our thought process of doing it bigger.
Like a reflection of where y'all at now
Mhm.
versus when that shit first came out.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that, and I feel like the "Don't Move to Texas" slogan. It's a at this point it's sort of become like a traditional statement because as anybody knows, Austin was like a big hub for everybody to move to, and as y'all both being from Austin as well, have known like it's I've always told people it's like it's funny because like you growing up you went from like being like what part of Austin are you from, like from Metropolis, you from North Side, where are you from? Now you just got to be like where are you from, like where are you coming from, like what part did you move from? And
Anytime I tell anybody I'm from Austin and I've lived here my whole life, besides like moving out to college, they call me a unicorn.
yeah,
Yo, I was actually just gonna
Yeah,
talk about that.
that-
I got
that was
called
my
a
point, too.
unicorn like not too long ago. That's such a weird like. It's weird to have other people say that, like especially
Yeah.
like when they're not from here. Like, oh, you're a
Mhm.
unicorn because like you're born and raised and you're here. It's like
it's crazy. It's a crazy
it's
because like we
crazy.
grew up like so easily, like knowing if you knew it was a small world, and even now, like even to the events that we can go to or the just stuff that's going on in Austin, we'll run into somebody that we know that's from here. But when you actually like go out and do other stuff, like to them, like we're just rare because they're not used to like the constant occurrences of running into somebody that's from Austin. Like just today, I did a side job, and the people that I was working with, they're from France. And it's just so strange to me. Like I've never known French people to live here in Austin, and it's like like it. When I told them obviously that I'm from Austin, so they were all excited, trying to ask me what can I do, what's there to do, where should I go, and stuff like that. And I feel like that's something that no matter how often the city or the state changes, that's what we'll always have. Like we'll know like the hole in the walls, like the places to be or the people to know. And it's I feel like it's a perfect statement to make. And I know some people may take it as a bit aggressive because I noticed that somebody was a bit upset about it.
yeah, I mean like, and also like, like no like disrespect to that guy. Like I'm sorry that like you were like it affected him that much. And I'm not gonna like say who it is because
No,
like,
yeah, of
I have
course.
people who are close with him and stuff like that. So it's nothing but respect to that guy. But like, it's so crazy that this statement shirt had that effect on people because like when we were like coming up and concepting this, like we had to stop and like talk to each other like, yo, like what do you think like I guess the take people are gonna take away from this is gonna be like, do you think they're gonna get mad? Like a big thing for me, like a big fear was like, yo, I don't want people to think I'm like hating on Texas
Yeah.
because like my whole thing is like Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like if you take a look at the shirt and at the recent details that we just dropped, you can see the list and stuff like that, and it's a satire piece, so it's like it's not that deep.
Yeah, you're just being
you know,
sarcastic. You're
it's
making
like-
the play on. Yeah,
And
Yeah.
the thing is, it's like when we planned this out and we were coming out with like all the possible consequences or like reactions people would have, we were like, all right, who do we want to even market this to? And we were like, we want to market to the people who want to give this same message out to other people. And those other people are going to be, little ticked off or feel a certain way. And we knew that was going to be a thing.
you have to expect it.
So we purposely put on the there's a list on
Yeah.
the back, and we purposely put the last thing on the list is just stop moving here because we don't want y'all here, just so they would read the whole list and then see that and be like, oh well, fuck you. And that's exactly
It's exactly
what just
what happened.
Getting a reaction out of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, I mean, it was a crazy thing to see yesterday because I didn't even know about it.
Yeah.
He had told me, he's like, did you see, like, do you get the mentions? I was like, no, I haven't been seeing them. Like, I don't get the full, every single time, like, doesn't pop up for me. But he was
Yeah.
like, did you see this? And he shows me, and I was like, yo, what? Like, and we like just laughed. I was like, this is crazy. Like we're getting like an emotional rise out of people from this. Like that was just like the one that we saw. So like who
Yeah.
else? Like who knows?
Yeah,
what
but it
other
also
people-
works in a way like not to discredit what he was feeling about it, but at the same time, it's like kind of works as a promo situation.
Oh no,
'cause-
the promo that he gave us was insane. Rick, like mentioned him. It was his birthday actually, so he was like,
Yeah,
he was
I'm
like, "Yo,
sorry, I'm
happy
petty.
birthday! We'll send you a shirt." And just the reaction we got from that was like so much free promo. People were like, "Oh, I need this shirt now." Like,
yeah.
oh, this is the reaction. Like, I'm gonna get wearing this. Let me cop one. Like,
it I don't think it worked out how he wanted it to
Yeah.
for him, but I appreciate the message and I appreciate the support because in a way that was supporting us. So like even if you didn't
Of
like
course.
it, like,
Yeah.
it's all love.
there's
Like
also the message is like we don't want you to leave if you're here. Like, we're not kicking you out. It's just like stop coming, stop
yeah,
moving.
like you're
Yeah.
already here.
You're-
It's stop moving to Texas, like not move out of Texas.
Yeah,
So,
like also the same way, like it's like anybody that's already been here 10+ years, like you
Yep,
have to like you're already part of the city. You
Dude,
see
you're
the
here.
change.
Dude, he was
like,
here before
before
we were
I was
born.
alive. Yeah,
That's the crazy part.
I'm like, yo, like you're more
This is your-
Texas, right? Like,
yeah, this is
this
more your
point-
city.
Yeah, like
And
Nah,
that-
just kidding,
that's,
it's not.
funny, but I mean, it's that's sort of like the exciting part of like when you get creative and artistic in certain situations, because obviously, like they say, like what like art is just meant to like create conversation and spark responses, and that's just what it did. And what are some of the concepts that you guys kind of like went into before y'all started really?
You want to
nailing
start
down?
off with how you came to me?
Yeah. So, like we mentioned before, like we had noticed everybody wearing like our older drop, so we wanted to do something new. And we were just hanging out one day at my house, and I was like, "Hey, like we've been talking about wanting to do another drop. Like I kind of have this like idea I want to do, almost like we're gatekeeping Texas, but really like protecting it." And it started off completely different. Like I don't know if you've seen like the Twitter meme format where like they'll take a picture of like a super beautiful
Like
place.
Bali.
like Bali or something, and then they're like the green belt, and it's like
Oh
obviously
yeah,
not
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So originally I was like, what if we did like postcards and we did like North Austin and like put like a nice ass spot, or like South Austin,
Yeah.
like the places that we know like aren't super nice, and we
Like
just like
Dove Springs and put a picture of like
an oasis or something like
Yeah.
Dubai,
that.
or something
you
like
know,
that,
like
you know?
like
Yeah.
but then he was like, I think like that's kind of like too regional. Like I
Mhm.
think it's like since we wanted to like really incorporate all of Texas and not
Okay.
like so much just Austin. That's
Yeah,
why it's
yeah.
like
I felt like
general message.
through like my experience, I was like, yo, if we do it these regions, we're only gonna be able to sell to those regions. The people that
You'll
like
be limiting
the
yourself.
people who
Yeah.
like live in that area would be the ones who would want that because it's like their postcard. And I was like,
Yeah,
we just
yeah.
need to expand that and just maybe do it all of Texas. And that's when he came up with the little slogan.
Yeah, I was like, stop moving to Texas. It sucks. Like I had to do like little pause because I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, like I'm not saying Texas sucks. I'm saying that you moving here.
Yeah,
sucks,
that's
you
what
know?
like, they won't miss, but like they'll promote in the sense that like, okay, yeah, it sucks here, but in reality, all you're saying is like, it sucks when they move here.
Yeah.
And then
That's
I was,
awesome.
and then I with that slogan and the it sucks part, I was like, bro, we should have had a list to the back and reasons why Texas sucks. And it's like a list that people can read and be like, oh, okay, this is pretty funny, like, and just kind of like scare them off, but not too much. Whereas like
Yeah.
these are some really problematic issues, and we wanted to avoid like.
And I like it,
problematic
yo.
issues,
I
yeah.
like. I read through the list and I like the
Yeah.
what y'all labeled.
Bro,
through
we went through like 20 variations.
It
of
was
that list.
it was like that was like the hardest part. It
there. I
was
bet. Yeah.
It was like because like I really wanted to give off this tone of like a Southern person, like
Mhm.
how we talk, because like our like it's not too much slang in there, but like just like the phrasing of things and like
the
word,
y'all.
how
the
they
y'all,
generalize us and
and
stuff.
like just like removing like not making it such like a proper sentence, like
Yeah.
because that's like how we talk. So like it was trying to give that voice when you're reading it. Like if you don't know what it's like to be from here and you're like trying to come here, like we wanted to give like a Southern, you know,
kind of
tone.
get that. That's something that they would buy like as a souvenir.
Yeah,
I feel like that's something that
yeah.
people would really love. Like, oh, I went to Texas and I got the shirt that says "Don't come to Texas."
We literally went through months of like revising that list and
Oh
like
shit!
asking like the people close around, like, is this offensive? What are issues do y'all want us to put on the shirt? Not necessarily issues, but just like reasons to stop moving here.
Yeah.
And a lot of generalizations were like, okay, all three of these list items could be put into one. Maybe these are two touchy subjects, so let's try to just like generalize it. And we didn't want to make it look like Texas was a horrible place.
Yeah.
And we also didn't want ideas and stuff on the list that was like, okay, this is an issue somewhere else as well. It's like maybe like this is a United States issue. And we were like, no, we want it
more specific
to Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually started working on this. Was it like last July? Was it like? It was
Yeah,
like
I was gonna ask. I was like, how long has this been in the works?
So it was actually supposed to be like a winter drop.
Oh wow!
And like it just kept like
kept growing and growing.
It kept growing, and then also like a lot of it too, like because of like what I do for like my full time, like I was like super busy with a lot of it, so like just timing was like a big issue. Yeah. But it ended up working out because like we just would slowly start to tease it. So we've been teasing it for like months and months, and like letting people like watch it grow.
I think the first official like sample that was shown like on a story post was in like November.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh damn! Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
But it's like it actually worked out in our benefit that it took longer than what we had originally like anticipated, because we were actually like able to put like so much time into it and like really focus on like making this like as good as it can be.
It's y'all's baby. Is what
like it's really like our baby, like and it paid off because everybody like it's become like such like I think like the interactions that we're just getting online because of it, it's insane to see, like especially for like our second collab drop. It's just cool because like we're getting people who don't even know us,
and we're still like the crazy part is that we're still in the rollout period, right?
There's still the best parts aren't even out yet.
That's
like, in my opinion.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's so exciting to like be able to witness and like just know what's going on, because like y'all have been like just even with the van and the U-Haul truck they have, like that was crazy in its own itself. You know, it's something like people don't think about. Just like people don't go to these lengths for their brand, you know, and it's so there's bigger brands that don't even go to those lengths.
That's one thing that I got from like musicians was like their rollouts and how they did their album drops, and just like they don't even release a single, they just release like
just drop it and go
information and little hints and little marketing here and there. And when we were coming up with this, I was telling him like as like a clothing line like WhenWhereWhat, like I want to focus in the future on the marketing prospect and like how we can do rollouts. And good thing I have a very patient person right next to me, because I'm not patient. No. But I did agree that I was like, yo, like I'll be as patient as we need. Like this marketing needs to be genius. It needs to be different. It needs to get people talking, and it needs to have a whole rollout that just people aren't expecting. Yeah. And that's what we've been rolling with so far.
And so are y'all able to speak on, obviously this is going to probably drop a little bit after when it drops, but are y'all able to speak on like what's to come next before it actually even drops?
Yeah. So we have obviously the photo shoot. Yeah. With like all the gear. We got the hats, the shirts, and the jeans. There's jeans involved.
Oh shit! Yeah, I'm definitely thinking about jeans.
Hard. Yeah, like the jeans go hard, and so the whole photo shoot is going to be, revolved kind of around the moving trucks and like the moving company that stops you from moving here. Okay. And that's why we're in uniform right now. We're the Stop Moving to Texas company.
That makes sense. Oh,
and,
shit.
Yeah, like I got one of my favorite all-time homies that's like an amazing photographer, which is 512 Cowboy.
Shout out. Oh, yeah, he's dope.
He's doing amazing work, and each time he drops pictures in a photo shoot, it's different. Yeah. And he got like, it looks like he planned stuff out, and we've been planning this out for months. So like, I just know he's gonna secure exactly the vision that we're looking for. Yeah. And the photo shoot is something that I'm looking forward to. The interview drop, like whenever this drops, is something nice too.
Yeah.
Just give people like.
I'm
more.
grateful to be part of the process.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
excited,
no,
yeah.
thank you so much. You're playing a big part, so
Thank you.
it means a lot.
Yeah, just letting us talk about it, because there's multiple people who are asking us like the process. What was the process? How did you do this? How did you do that? And we were like, well, let's talk about it with somebody who like knows how to talk. That's you right there.
Thank
my
you.
boy.
I appreciate that. Thank you. No, I'm excited. Like I said, I mean, everything, just every single part of it. Now, even knowing that, it just, it's like on some like Kendrick Lamar album breakdown type shit. Cause like you look back once the drop comes out, and you look back, it's like, oh yeah, now every single part that y'all mentioned, and it all starts to make sense, and it's amazing. And I applaud y'all for that, because it takes a lot of work, and not only you guys already doing y'all's own thing, but taking time away to focus on this project. Because it seems like y'all are not just doing it for y'all's brand, y'all are doing it because y'all saw how much people appreciated the first drop, that y'all want to come back around and give the people something.
We want to give them something so much harder than we did last time, and I think we're doing it. It was a tall task for us both, and like we were just like, could we do it? And like, nah, we are doing it. Like the interactions and the views that these, not even the photo shoot pictures. So those were, for me and my experience, get the most interaction and get the people looking. It's like, all right, you did this photo shoot completely. No, we've just been doing sneak peeks and just a little official views, and like, I don't know, like the people who are mentioning it and talking about it have no relation with us or anyone near us.
Yeah.
So it's gone public.
Yeah.
And not local anymore. And that was something
that's amazing.
That's something that we were kind of anticipating, but not to this certain extent.
Definitely not this fast. I mean, like, one of the craziest, like, I guess, like, scenarios of that like we've seen so far is shout out to my guy Edward Castillo, but someone tweeted at him, and they're from DC, and they were like, yo, Edward Castillo, like, you need this shirt. And he responded.
Oh, wow.
And he responded, and he was like, I actually already have it, because we gave it to him early.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so he was like, we were like, yo, he called me and was like, yo, my homie, like, sent me your shirt link.
Like on some Kamala Harris, we did it, Joe type shit.
Yeah, like, it was crazy. I'm just like, yo, like, it's getting seen as far as like DC. So
yeah,
like,
that's
like
insane.
Also,
not just DC, international.
International, yeah.
No
I have some friends who like spent some time in Germany, and like they shared it, and so all of their friends in Germany are like, yo, like, how can we get this? Like,
and it's crazy because like the benefit that we have just being from here is that Texas is just a general staple for like the country and what the whole world sees. Like one of the many things that they point out whenever they think about this country is just like, oh, Texas.
Oh yeah,
Texas,
you can tell the little silhouette.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, that's Texas. There's some states you can't tell by their silhouettes, and that's Texas right there.
One of the I was gonna say we're the biggest state. You can forget about Alaska. I'm not thinking about Alaska. But yes, Texas is for sure stand out in this country, and we for sure have that benefit of it. So it's amazing to see all that. I guess outside of the creative process, I have to ask, like, did you guys ever have situations in which y'all would like bump heads as far as like
oh god, yo, we like argued so much with this. Like,
there is a good aspect to this, as none of us are yes men. I feel like both of us are, no, we should not fucking do that. Let's do it this way, over and over. I'm telling you, this was like months in the work, like months. I fought so hard to get that cowboy onto the shirt.
Yeah,
like he really did.
There's just so many things that, like, I'm telling you, like, we had 20 variations of the back itself, just because we couldn't agree on how to do this, how to say this, how to get Rick to make it look like he doesn't hate Texas, and we had to go through these loops and these holes, and like, there was just so many bumping heads on almost every single thing.
Every single part.
Till this day, this afternoon, we were bumping heads and we were like, all right, all right, I agree finally, and like yeah, no, it's a good thing that we're not yes men. That's what I tell him.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank God, bro,
It helps.
because like, yeah, because we're pushing each other and we're like, no, this could be the best. Like, no, look at it this way, look at it this way, and like I said, I'm not a patient man, so like it was really hard for me to like argue, sit down on it, and be like, okay, Rick, let's do this.
But like I really respect that about you because like no matter throughout the whole process, like no matter how much we argued or like what we bumped heads about, like it was never like past that. It was like we're still gonna be friends. Like we're
Of
still
course,
hanging
yeah.
out.
This is
Like,
a project they all are working on.
and all those arguments led to this, so it was worth it.
And I feel like I am very proud of the front, the back, the quality,
Every part of it.
the shirt tag, everything is just
Yeah,
quality.
and then that's what I enjoy about watching your story, because even like outside of this drop, anything you've ever worked on, just seeing the amount of work that you put into making sure that you provide a high quality
this
sample,
is
you know.
the highest quality sample.
Okay, so I'm very
So, like-
excited for this. Like, y'all will be seeing me rocking this
Look, I brought
for on.
a little freebie if you want to feel it, bro. Like
Oh man,
I'm telling you, when
I feel very blessed right now.
I feel like you touch the shirt, feel the shirt, and you can tell that based off that old shirt, just the quality has gone up, and just we're just trying to prove everybody that we can do the highest
Oh,
quality.
my
work
guys
here in
got me
Austin.
right. Look at this. Jesus. This is a beautiful shirt, guys. I hope y'all know that. I am huge on the shirts that I wear, but this is amazing.
There's the list, the infamous list right there.
The tag and everything. And I cannot wear it. I cannot wait to wear this. I cannot wait to wear this. Thank you so much. I appreciate
Yeah,
you
no
guys.
problem. Thank you for having us.
Man, I'm so happy about this. So here you have it, the actual Stop Moving to Texas T-shirt. Oh, if y'all could, if I knew how to linguistically describe how this shirt alone just feels, man, I'd be doing a different job. But no, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all coming out and being here with me. It means a lot that y'all actually, both of y'all actually chose to do it with us with this podcast. As y'all know, as we briefly mentioned, as y'all may already know too, it's a strenuous process to try to keep up with something that sometimes takes a long time, and takes a lot of effort and energy, and sometimes a lot of money.
Maybe the biggest cliche saying is Rome wasn't built in a day,
It was
and
not.
you can only understand that when you're trying to build Rome.
Yep, I constantly think about that, and I'm like, damn, like that's true. Perfection isn't born right away, but I mean, with that being said, I mean, just outside of the line, I do have a few questions for both of y'all independently, but at the same time, what kind of led y'all to where y'all at as far as like you wanting to create your own brand when it comes to clothing and the art that you do? Because I'm a huge fan of your art. I've always been a huge fan of your art, like the art that you make for yourself, that you make for other artists. Like, man, hell, like we've even sat down to think about ideas for the podcast that I still want to be able to accomplish, but even you yourself that would figure it out. And I personally know Edward as well. I'm a huge fan of him. He's a great person. He's always
Shout out
looked
the
out.
mayor.
He
Shout
looks
out
out.
Ed.
Yeah, the mayor of Austin,
mayor,
Texas.
yes,
He always
sir.
looks out when he can. Like, I've been in the randomest situations with him, and he will always step out his way and be like, "Hey, this is Mario. He does his pockets," and like catches me off guard every single time. But he's a good person to work with, and I've known him since back when he was doing Scoremore.
The craziest thing is, I talked to him. I want to say like maybe a couple months ago about like repping the 4-5. He was like, "What do you know about the 4-5?" I was like raised there, bro. Like Blythewood, and like apparently, bro, we were raised on the same street.
Oh wow.
I did not know that until he was like, "That's my
He's Southside
street."
for real.
I was like, that's my street." He was like, "No way, dude." And we hung out years. I'm talking like, I mean, we grew up on that street, and now we're here, and like, I'm in my 20s
It's a small
talking
world.
about it, and like no
Hey,
way,
everything
dude.
happens for a reason, bro. Everything happens for a reason. But I mean, at the same time, like he doesn't just do it to do it. Like he actually like pinpoints and actually works with people to work with people, and then the fact that like you and him are like part of the same organization, figure it out agency, and then where, when, what. How has that journey been for both of y'all? Like, what brought y'all to where y'all are at today?
Honestly, we just got done talking about him, but it was really Ed.
Yeah.
I actually met him back at Squirmer also, and he was kind of like really the first person there that like ever gave me like a chance to be like super creative. It all started off with I wanted to shoot a commercial for a festival called Mala Luna,
I remember.
and I just noticed some stuff that everybody was doing at the company. I was like, I want to do something different, and he like told me, he was like, he said, if you want to do it, like I'm not gonna give you a budget, but figure it out, and if it's good, we'll use it. Figured out's been a term we use for a long time, so it's kind of what we named after it.
Oh
but,
wow, that makes so much sense.
yeah,
now.
but he gave me the shot. The commercial did well. It ended up selling, like becoming. I partnered with like Monkeys to do it, and like that became like the most tickets sold out of all of the Texas market based off of that commercial. And so from there, I was just like, yo, like I could do this for myself. So I took off to Cali for 3 years. I did the reverse. Instead of moving to Texas, I moved out, and I went to Cali.
Oh wow.
So I was there until the pandemic. Pandemic hit, and me and him were doing some stuff for some South by with a couple of friends of ours. I got stuck here, couldn't go back, and I was working on the ranch. And one day, I just like something told me like call Ed, and called him up, and he was like, "I'm starting this thing called Figure It Out. Like I can't pay you, but like if you want to come," I was like, "I'll be there tomorrow." And then here we are, 3 years later.
Wow, and it all paid off.
Yeah,
That's what's amazing. That's awesome. So Whistle,
What was the question again?
what brought you to where you're at now? Like, what kind of like, where did it all begin for you?
High school. When everybody's wearing the same stuff, I ended up going thrifting and just finding vintage stuff.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, thrifting became a thing. And I'm seeing
Tell me.
everybody at the Goodwill outlets with the bins, and I'm like, nah, I have so many competition, trying to find the best T-shirt because everybody's rushing in these bins. And me and my homies saw that there's a couple people making clothes out in like high school era, just dropping like T-shirt here, a hoodie there, and we were like, yo, like why don't we just make our own clothes just for ourselves? Like it's obviously possible. So we started designing some shirts called Spacebound clothing, and we'd go to Dairy Queen right by Crockett after school every day and meet there and just talk about how we can like promote it and draw some ideas. There's a couple homies, and then we got made fun of a lot.
This was at Crockett or where
This was at Crockett.
Okay.
This was like sophomore year, freshman year. We got made fun of by the people who were doing it, the cool kids, because we weren't well known. We were just like, yeah, we were just like, oh, this is so cool. Like, we just make shirts, and then like we were getting made fun of. But at the same time, some people were like, yo, those are cool shirts. Where can I buy them? And we were like, oh, cool. Like, we'll make multiple of them. And then that kind of died down just because not everybody has like the same vision or the same drive. So I ended up going to Bowie my junior and senior year. And senior year, I wanted to bring it back, but change it up a bit. So I called up a few friends and was like, yo, I still want to do this clothing line. I think we can be big. Let's just change the name and let's try to promote it and go harder. And that became Savages. And during Savages era, more and more of the team just kept trickling down, and to the point there was no team anymore, and it was just me. And I was going to college, and I was like, well, I still want to do this. Like, what can I do? And I started looking up the most famous clothing lines and the people I kind of looked up to, and like Ralph Lauren, and like how Tommy Hilfiger, these are all their names. And I was like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna put my name. I like my name. It looks weird. It sounds different. Like, I don't know anybody with it, honestly. So I was like, Huezo, and I put them on hats. I just put Huezo on some hats. I had a friend that like was able to stitch them in, and I put 1-on-1 hats, and I loved how it looked, just the Huezo. And after that, like, those hats helped me take off, and I just started putting Huezo on everything else. And when I came up with like the logo, it's a 3-headed dog, a Cerberus. I was just thinking of like animals and what's cool and what's not, and like Hueso Hueso means bone in Spanish. So I was drawing a lot of bones, a lot of skulls, and I ended up drawing like Grim Reaper too many times, and I was like, well, like if I'm Hueso, like I want my logo to be like my protector. And in Greek mythology, a Cerberus is right outside protecting, death.
The last line of the
defense. So that's the Grim Reaper's death's protector is a Cerberus. And I took 3 pictures of my dog and put different positions and sketched out a little logo. And
this guy right here?
No. It's just it's on the back of that shirt, but without the question marks.
Oh, the silhouette.
Yeah, the silhouette. And that became the logo, and I just kept going and going and going, and then pandemic. It was before the pandemic. It was like 2019.
Yeah.
I was dropping a collection in the fall, and I mean this is how I know Rick. Rick says he met me earlier.
Oh yeah, this was crazy.
But I don't remember meeting him earlier. But he hit me up talking about, hey, I have this event. I want you to be part of it. Is to like show off like Hispanic like culture and like the arts here in Austin, and it's gonna be at this place called Mala Vida. I've never heard of, and I was like, all right, cool. Like, what do you want me to do? And he was just basically telling me to be like a little creative director here and there, like on production, on like how we're gonna be viewed, and just like finding the artist and just making sure like we have kind of a vision.
Yep.
And to come up with the name and everything. At first it was Austin Nights, and I was
thank
like,
God we didn't go with
hell
that.
Is this
no.
the event that was like
Hell
that happened
no.
for the South by that one year?
This is before South
This
by.
is like the predecessor to.
And then
okay.
we came up with Extraña Vida. It was like weird life, because it was
this is
Austin.
like at the beginning when
This,
Miles
this,
first
this was
started.
like when they were first like. Yeah, like they weren't where they're at now. Like,
Yeah,
shout out to Gabby.
Yeah,
thank
shout
you
out
for letting me
Gabby.
do that. Like, she's still a very close friend of mine.
Yeah, she's allowed us to throw our own shows to me and Vintage J, and
Yeah.
seeing where it's at now, it's like there's no
crazy.
way I could do what we did back then.
Yeah, and so like that's when he hit me up and was like, "Yo, can you kind of creative direct this?" Like he's handling production. He has a team handling music. He has a team handling other things. And
my team was just my friends.
Yeah,
it was just my
and
friends.
the night of, it just was popping, and I was like, "Yo, we did something," and we did it specifically for like Hispanic culture.
Yeah.
And like it was just, we became friends after that. It wasn't even like, oh, like you're cool, you do work. It was like, no, like you're a cool guy, bro. Let's be homies, and it just naturally became homies.
Just hit it off.
That's just how it is. Yeah, like
Just me and my best friend.
Yeah.
like it's cool. Everybody, a lot of people from like that first event that we did together, we're all like really tight now. Like actually, you had one of our like really good friends on the podcast, Moses Garcia.
Oh yeah, shout
out Cap,
Shout
crazy,
out Moses.
Shout out
another
Cap.
crazy
Yeah.
brand out here in Austin.
He was one of the artists that we
Crazy
had featured.
talented.
Super talented guy, one of my best friends. But yeah, I'll let you know how we actually met though. I actually met him. I think it was like 2017. It was like my first year in Cali. I'd come back for South by, and one of my friends was throwing a South by show, and he was a vendor there. And I like walked to the back. He was like off in the corner, and I was like, "Oh, these shirts are cool." And I bought one. I had it. It was like the.
I don't remember that.
See, he doesn't remember.
You still have it though? You still have it?
No, I grew. I didn't.
See, he has no evidence, bro. You know what I'm
I
talking
can
about?
tell you which one it was. It was the Beetle on fire. And it was a blue one, and it said Quasar.
and that's a fact. I did sell those shirts. Like, just I had a little table in a corner, and a homie hit me up, was like, "You want a van?" And I thought there was gonna be other vendors there. I was just me in the corner on a table.
It was
with
literally
those
just him.
By
with 4 shirts in the back, and I was just like, the music was happening over there,
Oh,
and I was over
damn.
here, and I was like,
It was at the
"Hi guys."
It was
Like,
at the old hookah lounge. I don't know what it's called, but it was like the old hookah lounge on Rainy.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
he
yeah,
was
yeah.
there. And
Damn.
that's where we met. And then I hit him up for the Extraña V that we threw back in 2019. Yeah.
And then look where we're at now.
here we are,
It's
yeah.
amazing.
Mhm.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah,
you know?
he said he mentioned he was on his ranch, and that's when he hit me up about the first shirts. He was like, "Come to my ranch, and like we can come up with ideas." And we literally had a meeting next to horses in the middle of a field.
Yeah. I was like, hey, come on, we're going to go sit by the bulls and shit. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I got a table out there. So we just sat around, like, and like there's a picture of it. I don't know if you still have it, but it's like literally like we're surrounded by like at least like 20 head of cattle.
Oh wow.
And we're just like out there. We're like, I was like, yo, let's take a picture of us sitting out here on the ranch because like this is gonna be great.
This is the office.
This is our office.
Right.
The
yes.
office was just in the middle of a field with a bunch
Damn.
of horses.
And a table and some chairs.
And we came up with the ideas right there. And at the time, he was a photographer.
Okay.
He wasn't doing like events, like coordination as much as he is now, and creative directing. He was like a photographer. That's how I kind of knew of him. So I was like, we can mix your photography with my like artistic like abilities.
Yeah.
And both shirts did exactly that. This shirt was a picture of him on the horse, exactly how
Oh
like
wow. So the skeleton's molded after you.
yeah. And
Oh,
then there's
wow.
another shirt in that same collection at Malavita. Since we met, we started working there. We brought some homies that worked on the Extraña Vida, put them in the shirt. We kind of drew over them so you don't really see them, but the whole shirt is at Malavita.
Oh wow.
And it was like a homage to like where we first started working.
Yeah.
And he took the picture. I just doodled over that one. I didn't like completely recreate it. I just
Yeah.
did doodles over it, and we sold that one too.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
So we always like to just like nod our hats over at the things that we've done, especially the people that
Yeah.
we've worked with. Like everybody that's ever helped us along the way. Like we always like to just let them know that we still think about them
Acknowledge.
and we appreciate them. So
And that's amazing because a lot of people will always feel like, you know, people get where they're at and just kind of forget, but it's like that's not the case here. Obviously, you guys have obviously been doing an amazing job of staying good friends with the people that y'all started off with and commending the people that y'all worked with. So that's an amazing thing to be able to keep up because you know people don't do that anymore, and it's a hard fact that you have to learn.
yeah,
you know?
it's yeah.
Hard fact to
Yeah.
learn.
It sucks too. It sucks when you learn it. It sucks a
Yeah.
lot. It's
No, trust me,
terrible.
we've been there. You know, as much as we've tried to help out as many people as we can, it does happen. But at the same time, you can't really be upset about it. You know, you can't really expect the energy given back to you that you put in because not everybody's built like us.
Yeah.
And that's a crucial part that I feel like has to be learned or at least acknowledged whenever you're in a creative space to like create stuff. You know, like I never thought I'd be doing podcasting. You know, like I had a friend one time years ago that was like he was a drummer and he knew that I dabbled in music here and there. I used to be a rapper when I was a kid. I have done recording engineer, I've done live events, like I've done every aspect of music. And he was like, you should do podcasting. You like to talk, like do podcasting. Years later I talked to Troy and I was like, let's start a podcast. Like I don't see why not. Like there's nobody sitting down recording shit out of Austin. This was like back in 2018, 17 when we first started, and so for sure it's something that like you learn as you go. You know, you guys have had a long journey. It's not something that like for anybody that maybe not be aware, like it's pretty obvious that you guys have not had like y'all started and immediately became successful. Like y'all have both independently became experienced throughout y'all's journeys and then met and then just expanded even brighter on that.
Yeah.
Did at any point did y'all have any sort of writer's blocks?
Oh, all
All
the
the
time.
time.
All the time.
How do y'all deal with them?
Honestly, like
Cry.
yeah, that for sure. You have to let it all out. You got to get that shit out. But go touch some grass. Like seriously, like go get some sun. Take a deep breath. Like look at what you're actually going through.
Yeah.
And then look at everything else and just be like, okay, like this is compared to everything else. This is just one small part of it.
One part. It's not your
But
world.
like, don't make it the biggest issue because that's when you don't ever get past that block. Like
Yeah, for me, it's more of a like, okay, I'm going through this block and I'm trying to figure out why I'm going through this block. Is it, an emotional block? Is it just creative block?
Try to find the root of it.
Yeah, I can't think of anything. Or is it just because I'm too down right now to think of anything? And yeah, there's many times throughout, from high school, to here that like I've been like, damn, should I just like stop? Like, cause I can't think straight, or like I'm too down, or just anything. It's more of a like, hell no. Just me telling myself in the background like, nah, dude, like you gotta keep going. Maybe just like, who cares if like they're waiting on you right now? Like I'll drop something when I'm ready and it'll be worth it.
Yeah.
So that mindset became very strong to me in like college. It was like more like, no, like no one's my boss telling me like you need to drop this in 2 months. You need to be ready. It's like, no, like let me just sit down, try to have everything that I need, figure it out, and then I can give you my best products. And that's what I want to do, is give you my best.
Of course.
So these creative blocks, just I've realized, just come with life. And honestly, like life helps so much as an artist, and like you can't have life without ups and downs. And I'll draw my ups and I'll draw my downs. And like it's really nice to know when I'm drawing my downs, people can relate to that. It's like you're not the only one going through that. And it's like, okay, yeah, like my art spoke to you as well. It's like I'm not the only one, so that keeps me going too. And then I also have a great support system that will keep me going. And just the thought of me wanting to bring my support system up and like break generational traumas, generational curses. That's one thing that like is very important to me, is bringing the people that around me who stuck with me throughout everything up. I can't give up on them. Like I could give up on myself, but I can't give up on them.
Yeah, I feel that 100%. Yourself, Rick? How do you deal with your creative blocks? Because at this point now too, like I feel like, I mean, both of y'all have a huge platform. Like I feel like y'all both know that it's not something that y'all can easily just be like, I don't want to do it, or hey, I'm not up for the challenge. I'm done.
I mean, personally for me, like I said, like I got to get outside. Like that's like with what I do for work, I'm in a studio all day. Like I'm just, it's like 4 walls, pitch black, soundproof. So I'm just like there, literally in my head or in my notebook, drawing out like events. So when I reach that point, I'll go outside, just like really just let the sun get on me, feel good. And then I also have to remind myself that like it's not just me anymore, it's my team. And so if I can't do me, I'm gonna like not allow them to do them. And so I think about more than just myself, and that we're all got a common goal. So that's what keeps me going too, is like they believe in me, so that makes me believe in me. So like I need to get these ideas out. I need to create. I need to just push through it. Because like there was a time when I wanted this. There's a time when I wish that I would be having these, like even have the opportunity to be creatively blocked, and it like matter and mean something. And so when that does happen, I'm like, okay, like you wanted this is what you wanted, so you gotta, if you want to keep it, keep doing it. And I just have to remind myself that, especially when it gets like super hard, because it gets hard. And like also like too, like I want to like take this time to like just shout out mental health, like
of course,
super
like,
important.
Talk about your
it's
stuff.
Men's Mental Health Month. We are in June, and it is Men's Mental Health.
Yeah, like talk about what you're dealing with, like because with if you hold that shit in, like if you're
that shit
if it's
hurts
stress,
when you're holding it in.
It makes life so much harder.
It doesn't help.
But like if you let people know where you're at, like there's times at the office where I'm like, hey, like I am going through it today. Like I can't think. Like I need to take a break. And thankfully, like me communicating that with the people around me allows them to like help me how they can.
They give you the freedom.
The support system that's super strong.
That's good, and it's a very fortunate situation to be in, because a lot of days now, a lot of people don't have that opportunity, but it's extremely important to acknowledge that and to dictate that it's an important thing to know about, because yeah, we as men don't have that opportunity very much.
And it wasn't a thing for us growing up. Like
No,
it
it
used to be
wasn't.
looked
Oh
at
no,
bad if you talked
especially when you
about,
try to
We're
tell your parents.
especially when you're like, if you're like
insensitivized.
from a Hispanic background too. Like they like, my grandpa would just tell me like, suck it up. Like
My
be a
mom
man,
would tell
like-
me like, "You sad? Well, shit, the house is dirty." Like, and I was like, "Well, that's not gonna help me, bro." Like,
I'm still gonna be I'm still gonna be sad. This house still
like,
gonna be
like,
dirty.
hey, can you talk to me about something? Like, let's just come on, figure it out, and just like, no, like, I feel like the older heads are just like,
Yeah, no, it just hit me. That's
Yeah.
it.
yeah, it was like,
Yeah.
be sad about this.
Hey, right?
I'll
Like,
give you something to cry
I'll give you
about.
something to fuck-
I'll give
yeah.
you something shit to be sad about. Like,
Yeah, like yeah. Hey, but shout out to my grandpa because he helped me who I am today. So,
Nah, man, but I mean, again, extremely grateful for you guys to be here with me. It's been a very amazing conversation. I'm extremely grateful that y'all were able to open up to me and give this platform the opportunity to go in depth into what you guys have been doing, and which again I'd have to mention, like, everything y'all are doing is amazing. It's fucking artistically just genius, and I cannot wait to see how the rest of the rollout goes, and I'm just excited for every part of it. Is there any ideas that you guys are just based off the don't move to Texas concept?
stop moving to Texas.
The stop. I'm sorry. The
It's all
stop
good.
moving to this tequila. I'm sorry. The stop moving to Texas. Is there any other ideas that you guys have been thinking about, like, further ahead?
Like together or just separate?
Either or, like you know, when you start working on a project and you're like, okay, would be genius to like bring it back later on another project. Is there something that you guys have maybe thought about that can like work out later on?
I'll say as of right now, I have other projects and drops specifically for Huezo.
Okay.
that I'm trying to focus on after this. I have season 2. That was a season 1 collection.
Yeah.
The one you're wearing right now about the missing dogs. Season 2 is going to be about something completely else, and that one is going to be my highest quality collection ever.
Okay.
My best marketed collection ever, and not anywhere near done. So there's gonna be drops between those t-shirts, fun t-shirts, other collabs. I've talked to, I don't know if you know the Fatal Boys, Fatal Wonderland.
yeah.
shout out to Fado.
Yeah, I've talked to them about, upcoming things and just artists here in Austin specifically that I would want to work with. Also maybe in a different state.
Mhm.
I've had connections in New York, so now I'm trying to see what I can do over there. And like, I've gotten very good feedback from all my clothing from people in New York while I was out there, and just like opportunities and little sauce that they gave me, and like
Yeah.
told me to come back. And like, so there's things that I want to expand on, not just Austin, Texas anymore. But yeah, I'm just gonna be focusing on higher quality.
Yeah.
This shirt really helped me try to find the manufacturers to go through, and just help me like
Narrow it down.
narrow it down, and just be having older drops that like I've teased and didn't really necessarily drop be next, and like, I'll be able to market those and give it a better, higher quality. I've teased little designs here and there, but like never officially dropped any. And that's what I plan on. I'm dropping little shirts here and there while working on my collection.
Okay.
And you'll know the pieces that are in season 2 collection. I'll
Yeah.
let you know like, oh, this is the first piece, but here's the next shirt drop. And that's where I'm focused at right now. I feel like in the future there's definitely a Huezo from Texas part 3.
Yeah.
I don't see why not, but we have to go back in the studio and the lab and figure out exactly what would that be.
Yeah, this one. This is 2 years after the first one now. Is it 2 years?
A little over 2 years now.
So the
2 for 2.
the next one might be, who knows, even longer than that. We'll see.
It's exciting. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for everything that you guys have been working on, will work on, and continue doing. I mean, I guess in general, do either of y'all have a favorite project that y'all worked on outside of this?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I mean, like, the past 3 years have just been like they've moved so quickly. Like thankfully, figured out to allow me to do some like pretty crazy stuff. It's kind of hard to pick a favorite because everything that I've been doing
It's all different.
is just so different. Um, like I think like one of my favorites is like we helped produce the Netflix opening party for Kanye.
I saw that. I saw
So
that.
that
Oh,
was
looked dope.
that was super cool. And then like a lot of like what we got coming up later on this year and in the works right now, it's like I'm just so excited for it because this is like the time where like I feel like I've finally grown enough for these other companies to like give me the keys to the cars for their like branding and stuff. So like now I'm finally reaching that point where I'm allowed to like my ideas are
You can just
getting
expand on your own.
yeah, like it's not so much like okay, like this is what we want to do, like y'all come and execute it. It's now it's like hey, we want to come to y'all and we want y'all to tell us like what we should do.
Yeah.
And so like that's really cool. So I'm really looking forward to just really being able to like for people to see like my mind and other brands outside of just figure it out. But also too, like I'm really excited. One thing I really want to do is and that we're all like focused on at the office is doing our own events too.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
more
of
like
course.
more figured
Yeah,
out.
I always go crazy. Yeah, I
Yeah,
always
it's
go
just they're
crazy.
so fun. It's just a good time all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I would say previous favorite of mine is the Huezo basketball jerseys.
Oh, that one's so hard.
I was so mad I missed that drop. Like
The front like bat ties in with the back of the bat, and it's just like a wraparound with a gradient, and like I was trying to go back with the old school 90s like NBA jersey where it's like they look so sick. You don't have to have a team.
Yeah, I think by the time that I had like met you and like found out about your brand, I had asked about it, and you were like, "Oh, we're not doing it anymore." And I'm like, I wish I had found out about it earlier on.
They sell out. I try to tell people, it's like, yo, like if you really want this shirt, like just be aware because like the shirts sell out, and then like I get hit up like the next day, and it's like, are they still here? I was like, bro, I've been marketing that for like the last week, man. I told you exactly when that was gonna drop. Like, I'm sorry, but
yeah, learn.
Yeah.
One thing about Huezo, he don't like doing restocks. So
I've learned
so
that.
if it's gone, it's gone.
yeah, it's a time period right there. You got that. And it's like, all right, when I become, a little bit more established, it's like, oh, I got this.
Yeah.
When he was,
It's a rarity piece.
Yeah, like the people
That's
with
how it has to be.
The people with the jerseys, there's only 10 of those made.
Yeah.
So,
like, shit.
Shit, like, I don't even have one.
Oh, damn.
You don't have one?
What?
Yeah, I gave it to somebody out in New York because they were very
persistent. Or
no,
what?
they were just very nice and like helpful, and like I was having troubles with like staying like hotel wise, and they're just very like the word I'm looking for is with an H, but it's not hostel.
Hospitable?
Yeah. See, I was about to say hostel, and that's
God damn
exact
it.
opposite. But yeah, no. Shout out Lambs in New York. They have their hospitality on point, and I just wanted to give it to somebody that like really wanted it, and just was very hospitable.
It means a lot.
Yeah.
Your work means a lot, and so for somebody to appreciate it that much and to be able to accept it in that type of scenario, I mean, the work speaks for itself.
Yeah, and there's so many. I was already like, I don't know, not salty, but like there's so many shirts that like I don't have anymore, and when like I tried to buy my first Savages shirt off somebody, and they taxed me like double what like I sold it for them. And I was like, dude, I'm not buying that. Like, I knew how much I sold you that for,
That's a good thing, but at the same time.
Yeah, so there's so many pieces that like I just don't have anymore. And when I was there with the jersey in my hand, I was like, this is gonna be another one I don't have. But yeah, no, that's one of my favorite pieces, just because, man, like I feel like I went off. And like it was for my 23rd birthday, so like it was like really basketball related with Jordan and stuff like that. They even had the basketball shorts that came with it.
Oh wow!
And I made up a fake team that didn't have nothing to do with my dogs. I brought the Austin Ice Bats kind of vibe to it, and I always wanted like rekindle that fire, like
Yeah.
ice bats, and like we used to have
The
a
old
hockey
school
team.
Austin
Yeah,
type shit.
yeah, like
I mean, you have Austin FC now, I guess.
yeah, but like the bats, it's like
Yeah.
we're the bat city.
It's
you
our
know?
staple.
Yo, we
Yeah.
still have the ice bats. They're
Oh,
just,
do we?
They're in Cedar Park, but they like dropped down the league. But
Uh-uh.
like they sell like badass jerseys still.
Oh damn!
Aw, damn.
Nobody
I need to
check
check
that out.
nobody
Yeah.
knows that.
Yeah,
but
no,
you
I
can
need
get
to
like
check that out.
Yeah, I didn't even know
I've been
that.
looking at all the
Yeah, dude.
vintage pieces. I didn't even know they're
Right?
still
Dude,
here.
I got a
like,
hockey stick from a game one time.
What?
Yeah, I got a hockey stick and a puck. It was the coolest shit. Like it was so cool.
I hear the hockey games are insane. I
Dude.
gotta make it up.
I gotta make it
Go
out to a
to
hockey
Cedar
game for
Park
sure.
Event Center. They're out there, right there with the. I think they're Austin Railroads. Yeah.
The HEB one?
Not Cedar Park Center. Is it HEB?
I think that's HEB.
It might be HEB. Yeah, wherever the Austin.
It's out the toll road.
yeah,
That's all I know.
yeah. They're in the same spot
Pull
as
up in the
Austin
Southside Bat shirt.
For real, right?
Mhm.
Like I've been down since day one.
Yeah, if you've been living here in Austin, you know.
If you know, you know.
You know the things on the shirt. There's a Leslie tattoo on the bat. Like, come on now.
Ooh.
Like, you gotta know who Leslie is. type
Yeah,
shit.
we're taking it back that far.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm extremely grateful that we've been sitting here and being able to have these conversations. Before we close off, as I mentioned outside of the recording, I do want to end on a positive note, even though this whole conversation has been extremely positive. Would you guys like to kick it off? Would you like me to kick it off?
You can kick it off.
Yeah.
Like,
You want to go? Do you want to go clockwise, counterclockwise, just like
Yeah, whatever you want. I mean, shit.
Let's go down the line.
Let me think.
No.
I always have to wing it. That's my
That's the best.
That's my
That-
biggest
It's
weakness.
raw.
But it's my biggest weakness, but my biggest accomplishment that people are always grateful. But Mask, he left us with tequila, and
It's open.
it takes me back. It takes me back to the original days when we used to drink to record. But I guess my positive note has to be always. I guess how can I word this? This is 2023, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are in June, 6 months in.
Summer's almost over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the first weekend that I got hot. But I've had an extremely shitty year, semi-shitty year. I've had a lot of bad shit that has happened since like last year. And that's kind of like snowballed into this year, and just this whole year, like a lot of big bad shit has happened to me. But as of recent, a lot of good stuff has started happening. And I don't want to say everything that happens is good and everything that happens is bad, but I say that to say that don't ever let the big shit that's back to back knock you down, because as Rick mentioned something similar earlier, I guess in my words is it's not a bad day, it's not a bad week, it's not a bad month, it's not a bad year, it's not a bad life. Take that punch and just keep it moving. If life for some fucking reason punches, I will say that in my own life, actually probably twice, and Troy can attest to this, I've been punched twice randomly. One of them being by Troy. It doesn't stop you from living the life that you want to live. It shouldn't hold you back. It shouldn't do anything to it can slow you down for a second, but you're gonna get back up. If you get hit, there's even if you get crippled, there's been people that I've met that are on wheelchairs and have succeeded so much in life. There's nothing that should stop you. Don't let one bad day ruin your whole life, your mood, your energy, anything. Always remember that there's a brighter side. As cliche as it may sound, the sunlight always comes after the storm. And I guess that's my positive note.
I would say my positive note is enjoy the journey, because destination does not mean a thing. It's all about the people you meet, the experiences you experience while trying to go and do your thing. Like, and don't ever feel like, oh, I'm on the wrong path, or oh, like I'm not where I want to be. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. You're on the right path. Okay, like you're chilling at a job that you don't want to be at, but that's exactly where you need to be at. Um, I would say that like I don't know if you ever read The Alchemist,
Yeah.
but trying to find that pyramid and your purpose, and just knowing that the journey was the whole purpose at all. And I don't know, I felt that to my soul. It's like, I'm here, I'm over there. I don't feel like I'm going the right way, but everything that has gone in my life has led me to this podcast and speaking on some art that me and my homie created, and created a buzz that wouldn't have happened if I would have just gave up. It wouldn't have happened if I would have, uh, but yeah, like that's what I want to say. I want to say to like all the creatives in Austin, all the creatives here in Texas, that don't feel down, don't feel like the East Coast or the West Coast are the only ones getting attention. Don't feel like you can't do it, because those people that are doing it, your biggest idols, they're all human. You're human, and if they could do it, why not you? Like, honestly, like that's the biggest thing I want to give out is why not you? And you can do it. Just keep going. I believe in you. The people around you believe in you. You just gotta believe in yourself.
I love that. I love that. That was amazing. Goddamn, that was amazing.
I guess mine would be, I'm just kind of playing off of that, but like if there's anything at all that you want to do, like don't listen to anybody that tells you like whatever it is dumb or it's not going to work, because it hasn't been done yet. So if you want to do it, do it. The hardest part is starting. The scariest part is starting. But once you start doing it, you can do it for as long as you want to do it. And that all depends on you. And you're going to fail. And that's okay, because everybody has to fail. And when you fail, just keep it pushing. Learn from it. Like, don't just give up. And if you stop doing one thing, don't consider it a waste. Just take everything you learned and apply it to somewhere else.
Wise words I've been given from Rick when I was trying to figure out how to do stuff is just figure it out.
Hey.
And trust me, you're gonna figure it out.
Everybody's brand means something, and it's become pretty evident from Figure It Out, because you've heard it and you've been taught to learn it and to figure it out. Your last name, because you learned that, if they're doing it, why can't I do it? And you went and did it. Jokingly enough, the slogan or the name of the podcast, How to Decay, That's Perfect, was, in a sense, was because whenever Troy and I were first talking about creating a podcast, I asked him, I was like, hey, what should we name the podcast? One of his responses was like, IDK. And I was like, all right, that's perfect. And I just ran with it. And now it holds so much meaning, because like, I mean, like, what do we talk about? IDK. Like, we don't ever know what we're talking about, but at the end of the day, it's not gonna, like, the responses that I get. I mean, you said it to me before, like, whenever people respond to me and they accept the situation, oh, that's perfect. And then I love that branding is just such a huge important thing, but people don't realize that sometimes branding comes with it has to come with a part of you, a little piece of what makes you. And so that's why, yeah, I'm extremely grateful that you guys are here sitting down with me and having this episode and this conversation, because it's a very important conversation to have. Like, having a conversation with creative directors is extremely difficult, because I'm like pondering, like, how can I talk to these guys? Because a lot of times I'm like, I don't know. I don't feel creative. I don't feel like I'm on that status. But you guys make this easy. You make it seem easy. So I applaud y'all for everything y'all are doing. I'm excited for the drop. I'm excited for everything y'all have in the future. and just everything I'm doing. Thank y'all so much for what y'all do for Southside, for Austin, for Texas. So thank y'all so much.
Thank you for
Truthfully.
having us. This was a
seriously,
great,
Thank you a lot.
great experience. This is my first podcast ever, and
Oh man,
I enjoyed it so much. Don't ever say you're not creative, bro. You got a hat with your own logo. You get this thing, your
Yeah,
logo.
yeah.
You got note cards with your own logo. Like,
Hey,
bro, I ain't never seen that.
some merch is coming soon. Stay tuned. It's been long overdue, but no, yeah, I appreciate y'all. And for y'all that are like tuned in and watching, I am Mario from the South Side, and I'm with.
Huezo from the south side.
Rick from Texas. Don't get mad at me, but I'm actually from the north side.
Okay,
Oh
look.
man, we gotta cut
Oh,
the show.
man.
We
Cut
gotta
that off, cut that off.
Stop
Nah, leave
recording.
that
This is I don't know. That's perfect, and we're out.
Stop moving to Texas.